So firstly, that's the little building that we arrive in. That was made out of cuboids, mainly because we haven't got much in the way of prefabs. It's got an upper floor that's got nothing in it. But the neat thing about this is we run power to it. But as soon as you place anything inside, you actually don't need to wire it because all of the power goes to the floor. Quite why we don't fry ourselves, I don't know. So, the actual Indium farm is this. Which we were mucking around with oh, that's right, we actually started off with similar colour ones, and then I managed to change the colour, so then we decided to go for multicolour. So at the back here we've got the 20 digger things, the extractors. You'll notice that one or two of them have got buried back in the ground because I actually dug the level of the ground. The ground grows back up, but it doesn't affect their function. So 20 of those, and we then have 24 here of the depots, and one over there. I don't know why it always shows this power symbol on it, but it has got enough power coming to it. So that is our setup, which I'll talk about how we did it in a minute. We've got one over here, which is connected to all of those, you can see from the pipes. The reason for putting that here is this is one hellhole, as I said already. It's very hot during the day and freezing cold at night. So it means that we can stand in the doorway and access the depot from there. Because they're all linked together, it means you can get the activated indium out in one go without even stepping outside. So I'll pop back into camera mode in a moment, but if I just, so yeah, literally stand here, and there it is. So we've already emptied this out earlier this evening. It's already got 7,750 indium, which I might just take with me seeing as I'm here. I'll put that in my suit and I'll flog that back in the system when I get back. So 28,750 is the total storage. It's doing 4,750 per hour. So yeah, in just over literally just over 6 hours, as you see, it will be full. So if you're playing at a weekend for a whole day, you can get a whole load of stuff, go off and sell it. 6 hours later, come back again. Right, power. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go and show you that now, but I'm going to again do by camera. So the power is all coming from, I don't know how far I can go. Oh yeah, camera mode.
No, you won't be able to get the camera there. You'll leave that to fly there.
I know. I'm just going to try and adjust the sun. So what you'll see is that we have done power. These are just the little sort of wooden structures that we use because it just makes it a bit neater than trying to run power. And it goes all the way over that hill and down the other side, and it's about 900 units away from where we currently are. There is a power hotspot. So in that power hotspot we've put down the machines that will extract the power and then connected them up by the cable to bring them all the way over here. Now, how do you do all of that? Just to give a brief explanation. Where is the base computer? Oh yes, base computer is here. So basically, I trekked across the planet, and it took a good couple of hours before I found it using the hotspot. So this one, in case you haven't got it, where you go into here and then activate survey mode, and it tells you then the hotspot proximity and then what type it is. So as you can see here, it's a mining one. So I was having to go across the landscape, finding the hotspots, seeing what they were. Some of them were gas ones. Some of them were mining ones, but they were other types of mining materials like cobalt or pyrite, and some of them were power. So eventually, after 2 hours and nearly giving up, I came across this C-class Indium power spot. Hi, thanks for joining. So yeah, I found this hot spot and put down that base computer. Once you've put down the base computer, let's get back into that mode.
You nerd.
What? What's being able to say Nuchnech? It's Klingon. Of course I know how to say that. Kapla! Or as you would say, Kaplunk.
Kaplunk.
Kaplunk. Yeah, so once you put down the base computer, then you can start building stuff. However, there is a limit to your building range. And it's so what we had to do to build all that way over there, because you can't just go over 900 odd units and build, is pretty much I stood here, pulled up the item, so this particular item, looked as far as I possibly could, reasonably possibly could. We've added some more in since, and then placed one. So that would have placed it to say here. You then do the same again, pull it up, see how far it is where you could before you can actually place it, then place another. So effectively what you're doing is you're slowly extending your build. So then I can't go any further here with the camera view, and I'm not going to go out in the horrible weather. So yeah, I would have stood there. And you can see the cable goes down. Would have then built another and another and another, and that's how I then was able to get all the way back to that power spot, and then put the extractors. Then I just cabled it all the way back here. That's actually fairly easy to do once you understand the mechanics of how that works. The tough bit really was finding this in the first place, because they're quite rare, the indium deep mining spots. You'll see in activated indium spots all over the place here that you can just dig, but to find one that you can build extractors on, they're quite rare. But yeah, once we found it, it was a bit of a nightmare to then do, because we need a lot of resources, and these things need chromatic metal, and they need metal plating and various other things. So what Halo did was she joined me, and she built a little structure here with a galactic terminal, which allowed us to build, to buy some things from it. But obviously there's a limit to how much you can buy. One of the things we needed to buy from there was batteries, because as I say, it gets really hot and really cold on this planet, so we needed protection for heat and cold. And there's nothing suitable, we haven't found anything suitable on this planet, naturally, that we can then use to power those. So we're having to build batteries, or in this case, buy batteries as well. So that's what the galactic terminal was for that, and to buy some of the resources. But for the other resources, we had to get those from elsewhere. Now our main base produces copper, and Halos is also producing paraffinium. So we built a little wooden structure, which would have been here underneath the wing, and built a Stargate, which allowed us to teleport back to our main bases and get a whole bunch of resources from there. And we've got refiners back there, so we were able to also refine some of the copper and stuff into chromatic metal. The paraffinium will refine into ferrite dust, because we needed lots of ferrite dust to make metal plates and stuff. So it took a lot of work, a lot of resources and stuff, and of course we're having to shelter, we're having to go out into the elements to build this stuff. But eventually we got all 20 of the extractors and 25 of those depots built. Originally we had we were going to just build the base right there, or leave the wooden structure, but once you've got 20 of these things going, the thumping on the ground is quite, it's a bit horrible really, so we decided to build a base that was a little bit further back. Hence doing that. But there you go. That's our structure. That's how it's effectively how it's done. It is a lot of work, but if you're prepared to put in the work and do toing and froing to get the necessary resources that you want, it'll get yourself an activated Indium farm. And in this case, we are, as I say, generating ourselves roughly 28 million units worth of resources every 6 hours.